I have it synced today. That's exciting. I didn't hit and hit. I did it almost at the same time. It's the little things in life, right? Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Thank you guys so much for being here. We are going to pick up two things. One, kind of where we left off on Saturday. And two, I'm going to rework a little bit of what we worked on Saturday because I got some clarifications in the scripting, which is what I had said. Oh, let me open up the chat. Niazi, I'm sure I'm butchering that up. Thank you so much for being here. Super appreciate you. Okay, pop open the chat. Here we are. So on YouTube, if you are chatting with me on YouTube, I can see the chat. I can see the chat on TikTok. And we are going to be here for about the next hour or so. So thank you guys. Okay, let me share my screen. And I do have my brother here with me today. So he is also going to be joining us for our live stream. Where's also I'm looking for my chat. Let's see. Let me go back. Where's my chat? Window. I think I got it. Here we go. Okay. Hey, Liz, thanks so much for joining. Super appreciate you. You guys see? Yes. Okay. We see our chat now. So actually, let me go back. Let me share. Oh, here we go. Why am I? Let's see. Normally, a little thing pops up that says I can change the screen that I'm sharing on. So let me do that again and see if I can get that to pop up. Okay, here's the script. Let me do this. Okay, so we're making some adjustments. I got some clarification. And thank you so much, Zachary, for showing up. We super appreciate you. I got some clarification on our script. So for scene 8, it was a little bit on the shorter side with the information that we had. So I have more information. So right now, I have the POV is approaching the golden bull. So before we had him approaching from in front. Let me go to, oops, I hit the wrong button. Share, Gemini, bam, there we go. And I'll show you on TikTok. Let me flip you around. I appreciate everybody's patience with this. Once we get 1,000 followers on TikTok, then everybody will be able to see the same view. So if you haven't followed, hit that follow button. Okay, so this was the approach that I had before, but we're actually going to come in from behind. Don't take that out of context. Yes, so we had him coming in and facing the bull. And then I took his gloves off because remember, we had the gloves on. I don't know why, but all of a sudden, bam, he had gloves. So we said, let's go ahead and take those gloves off. Gloves came off. And then I loved this one. This is our Neil Caffrey. Marie, thank you so much for being here. Kim, thank you so much for being here. I just really like this character right here, right? We all see it, right? White collar. Okay, so we're going to go back and let's have a look at our script now. And so we're going to approach the golden charging bull statue from behind and above, right? So we're coming in from behind and above. We're still coming in hot. The bull's on the right side of the man. We can see the butt of the bull and is getting closer to the bull. And then he lands on ground, like on the ground in Wall Street. So I'm going to put in here that he lands on the ground in Wall Street, right? And he's going to be on the left side of the bull. The bull's on the right. So I'm going to put those details into our chat and I'm going to make some adjustments there. Judy, thank you so much for being here. All right, let me flip you guys around, pop you over here, and you can say hello to Wesley.
Hello.
And we have you here on YouTube as well. We have half of your body on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can say hello on
I'm
YouTube.
6 foot.
Okay, so let me pop over here. I'm going to copy what we have and say, let's go back to, we're going to share this tab here. And Wesley's watching because he's going to take over for me while I am on my honeymoon. Deb, thank you so much for joining. Mary, super appreciate you. Tammy, happy to have you here. Okay, so we're going to go back to scene 8 for a moment is what I'm going to tell chat. I have some updates. Okay, and then we have the scene here, scene 8. And then we're going to say getting closer to the bull and ground in Wall Street. And we will see him land. So it is POV, so we're gonna see him landing as it was him. I'm gonna leave it at that. And then I'm gonna say, per my usual, what clarification questions oh, it's not working today. Usually my dictate works. Do you have for me for this scene update? And if any of you have ever worked in the television industry or film or anything like that, you know that there are always rewrites that are happening. So this is definitely one of those opportunities where we are celebrating a rewrite and we get to make a better image because of it. Okay, that's great. It gives us much more dynamic and cinematic setup leading into scene 9. I completely agree because I felt like it was a little anticlimactic before. So let's go through. Typically we have 10 to 12 questions. Yep, we have 12 questions on this one. So we're going to go through and we're going to answer them. So to confirm and to show you on TikTok what I'm looking at here is we have our questions that chat is asking us to clarify on this image. So the process that we're following today and every day that we're here is that we're drafting out our scene, building out all of the important information, and then we're going to pop over here to Gemini and we're going to add that in here and it's going to give us our image. We then download our image, pop it into Flow, we give it our descriptors in here, and then we animate. So to give you an example, I have this image that we like it. So we're going to use snippets of this, but that is the process that we are following here. So let me pop you guys back over here and answer these questions. And then Wes, if you have any questions as we go, feel free to ask, because if you have a question, somebody else has a question. Okay, to confirm, this is a third person trailing shot, correct? We're following slightly behind and above him as he descends towards the bull. So you wrote this. What do you think of that with that question? That's a great clarification question.
Which one?
So number 1, to confirm, this is a third person trailing shot. So what it's asking is, do we see our stockbroker from behind, or are we flying in from the stockbroker's point of view? I know we have point of view in the script, but this is a great opportunity to ask you this question.
Right. So basically we're just trying to do point of view of him coming into.
Yep. So right here it says point of view approaching the golden charging bull from behind. Any questions on here? Angela, thank you so much for joining. Ryan, thank you so much for being here. Super appreciate you guys.
It could be either or.
Okay, what would you like to see?
I would say, being point of view, I would say it's through his eyes.
Okay, so we're going to have, so it's going to be from the perspective of the stockbroker. So this is from the perspective of the stockbroker.
So through his eyes.
Through his eyes. All right. So we are not trailing behind him. It is not a third person. Not a third person trailing shot. I'm really happy that we ask these questions. Every time I'm like, ugh, there's so many questions to answer, but they're so important. I just want to pop over here and see if we have any questions on here. Liz says, hey, West.
Hi.
Should the camera tilt slightly downward to show the Bull Street approach area clearly or remain? No, we wanted to see downward. He's looking down. He's looking down. So we want to see the camera tilt slightly downward to show the Bull Street and approach area clearly. Yep. How close do we want the camera to be to the subject? Tight enough that we see his full upper body and parachute, or wider? So again, this is from his perspective, right? So his eyeballs. So we actually don't see any of that. I'm going to say again, we're seeing this through the eyes of our stockbroker. Do you want the parachute canopy fully visible above him? We don't actually see that. We'll see his hands and the cords for the parachute. I was just going to say shoot, but I think I should spell out the whole thing. Should the charging bull remain offset on the right side of the frame? Yes. With buildings and street filing the left side of the balance. Yes, or filling in the left side of the balance. Yep, that's fine. We're just going to say yes on that one. 6. Do you want to include some surrounding wall street details? Trees, land, who? Okay, where are there trees on the wall in the financial district? I don't think there are any trees on there. We do want some Wall Street details. I'm just going to say include some Wall Street details. I'm not going to say trees. If it puts in trees, because maybe they've planted trees since the last time I was there. I don't know. Maybe they did. We should ask Tony. Tony, did they plant trees in the Wall Street area? How close to the ground street do you want him by the end of the shot? We want him landing basically next to the bull. Let me triple check my script here. Oh boy, puppy is tooting down there. Wow. I wish I was making that up. See the butt of the bull, getting close to the bull and the ground. So I'm going to say that he lands at the side of the bull. We want him landing at the side of the bull. Okay. Number 8, tone and motion. Should the camera fall again? So this is based on it was thinking that it's the third camera back here. So should the camera follow his descent dynamically, slightly accelerating as he nears? I'm going to say again, the camera angle is POV and should be a bit shaky as he lands. 9, is the tone still epic? Yes, but we don't need the epic music. Yes, the tone is still epic and heroic, but we don't need the music is what I'm going to say. But we don't need the heroic music. Okay. Have I missed any questions over here? Angela, thank you so much. Esmer, Nicole, Big Guy, thank you so much. Mary, Vincent. If you guys have questions, pop them in here. Appreciate you joining. Let's see. Oh, can I click these? Okay. Let's see. Questions over here. I appreciate your patience. Okay. Number 10. Should there be any camera roll or banking motion as he maneuvers and keep it centered or stable? There should be camera motion. Should be camera motion as he approaches, during his approach is what I'm going to say. During his landing approach. No, I'm going to say his approach as he's getting ready to land next to the bull. How about the bull? Okay, 11. Lighting and mood. Continue. Yes, continue with the bright midday lighting. And 12. So this will get our image going. Should we see wind or light debris moving through the frame for realism? Yeah, why not? I'll say yes. We see wind, light debris moving through the frame for realism. I feel like that was a tongue twister. All right. Enter. There we go. Getting our prompt for Gemini. Make sure we are ready over here. We are ready for our Gemini prompt. So part of me debates on whether or not we stay in our chat thread on chat or whether we move to a new one, only because if you have been into a chat thread and you max it out, it runs real slow or it doesn't process. I don't want to move away from it only because it has all of the information in there. So if I can keep it, I'm going to keep it. Okay, so we have our scene here. Let's read it. Realistic cinematic first person view shot from the eyes of the stockbroker. Yes. Foreground, viewer sees the stockbroker's hands gripping the parachute cords, the fabric lines fluttering in the air. Perspective shakes naturally from the wind and turbulence. As the descent continues, camera drifts, bangs subtly, following realistic parachute movement while keeping the bull, the ground, and surroundings Wall Street elements clearly in view. As he nears the ground, light debris, paper swirl around from the wind, the chute kicking through. I did use chute. I could have used that. Sunlight reflects off the bull's polished bronze. I do like that, creating a cinematic glint as the camera approaches landing point beside it. Midday, still crisp air. Okay, great. This sounds great. So we're going to copy here. Let me pop you over here so you guys can see what we're doing. Flip you around. Here we go. Share this tab. Pop our Gemini in. Here we go. I sometimes wonder if I should say setting up seamlessly. I'm going to remove this only because sometimes I think it might be a little too confusing for it. Okay, and go. So while this is working, I want to give you guys a quick overview of where we came from. Let me share this tab. So for on YouTube, if you haven't been with me throughout this whole process, let me show you guys kind of where we, sorry, puppy dog. Let me show you where we came from. So hopefully he settles down quickly. I apologize. No fur baby or no human babies, fur babies in my house. Okay, so we have a door that we're going to come running out of. All right. And I really like the sound. If you can hear the sound, okay. Obviously, we're not using that part of the shot. This is where it, kind of it went off in its own little world over here. But we're gonna use just a moment of this. Okay, perfect. And then I don't know that I'll end up using this shot, but I like the shot. This one we are going to use. I'll probably use just a little bit, or if I need further closed, I might come back and rework this so that the door is completely closed and starts to open just a crack. I might go back and redo that just a little bit. Then our stockbroker comes out. He's running. He's running in all different directions. We're only going to use this little snippet of that. Then bam, this bear comes through. He busts through. We're going to see him stand on his hind legs and give us a big roar. I might make that roar a little bit larger. So this, I'm going to add in a scene here. We don't have this scene yet, but we're going to add in here so I can see him actually jumping off the building, because right now he's just like mid-building, right? We want him to actually jump off. This is the incorrect one. This is the incorrect one. That's the correct one, but I'm going to show you this one here. From this point, we're going to use. And then, actually, I take it back. This is the right one. So he's going to bust out his laptop. Then we're going to see this shot here. Our stocks going down. Followed by, I think this is the right one. Throws the computer, pulls the ripcord. I really like this next one. Oops, I did go past it. It doesn't look good at the very beginning, but after you get half a second into it, right here. That looks really good. I'm loving that. And we'll use just a snippet of this. This one took a bit. If you've been with me, this one took a little bit to get processed. This one we're redoing. And then we have here. All right, let's come over here to Gemini. Let's see what we have here. All right, so we're going to have some work ahead of us because this is not the back end of the bowl. This is the front end of the bowl. So we're going to have to come back here to chat, and I'm going to show chat what was drafted and say, hey, this is a start, but we're not quite right. So let me grab a screenshot of this and say we need to change the perspective of this. I'm going to say this is what was generated. We're seeing the front of the bull during our stockbroker's approach, and we need to see the back end or the butt of the bull. What adjustments need to be made to this prompt to make this happen? All right, we'll see what it says. Because we did clearly say, I'm reviewing what we said, slightly towards downward, capturing from above, behind as the stockbroker glides towards the street. Well, it didn't actually use the phrasing the butt end of the bull, so I can kind of see why it did that. And let's see. Realistic first-person POV shot from the eyes of the stockbroker descending on from above the charging bull. The bull's back, hindquarters, and tail. Okay. So I'm going to pop this into Gemini. Oops. And see what we have here. So you guys can see it revealed as we see it revealed. And I don't want to move on to our next part of the script until we have this, because I don't want to confuse it in our chat.
In Flow?
In chat.
Oh, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Flow, it's fine. In Gemini, you can jump back and forth in Gemini, but if it messes up, sometimes I might just start a new chat for it.
How are you getting it so the stockbroker looks the same from image to image?
I am using the same thread. So these are all in the same one.
Gotcha.
I did have one. What was he done?
Does it start to hallucinate as it gets longer for the actual consistency?
Oh, looky there! That's a rump if I've ever seen one. Does it hallucinate? That's a really good question. Sometimes. But we have enough detail, like, let's see. Here, Wesley was asking, does it hallucinate? So we had a really challenging time with the stairs. I was trying to get our initial stockbroker was running in. Like the stairs were the same, but they were running in. And then when I finally got him to run out, the stairs like came from, the heavens above. So we did have different, I really did. So this, I was like, yay. Oh, right. This was getting better. Like he still looks like Neil Caffrey here, in my opinion. But again, the stairs going up to the heavens.
Right.
And I had several threads where we did this. This one, the stairs just
Nowhere.
yeah, they just came from nowhere. Rooftop, here we are, another rooftop one. I did really like this one, but again, he was running into the stairs. But I really liked this one because there are gargoyles. There's a lot of debris in the air, but I could clean that up later. But it was challenging to get him to flip around. I still really like this one. So I might go back and use this one because we see a profile image of him and that's fine. I might go back and use this one as an alternate shot if I don't end up liking this one here in Flow.
Gotcha.
If I decide to rework this one, because his run is a little weird. Like he's never run before. That probably just
He's a stockbroker, not an athlete.
Well, then there's that. He's a stockbroker, not an athlete. All right. Oh, before I flip you around, let's see where we're at here. Okay. All right. So this is good. We're going to now take our animation here. We're going to go back over to chat and we're going to get the flow verbiage for this. So we're going to come over here. Yep, that's fine. All right, so I'm going to download this. We're going to pop back over here to chat and say, this worked great. This worked out great. Now, rewrite the full corrected scene 8. No, actually, no. Let's move on to the flow animation directions. Okay. Do you have any questions here? Liz says, sometimes I ask the chat bot to summarize the chat with all the context and the next thread that we'll need. Ooh, okay. I like that. Yes, the paper's fluttering. I do like that. It gives perspective, but I feel like, you know, New York is not always the cleanest place around. I do like New York. I like New York a lot, but not always the cleanest place around. Okay. So, this is where, here we go. I was like, uh-oh, we've frozen. Okay, first person, let's read through this, make sure that we have everything correct in here. I'm going to copy it here. I'm going to paste it into Flow. Oh, I should have uploaded while I'm doing this. Let's do that real quick. That way I have this uploaded and I will show you guys what I'm doing for uploading and getting the perspective correctly. Perspective done correctly. Here we go. Switch date added. Here's our Gemini. Though we got the rump. That's so great. So what I want you guys to see in uploading the image to Gemini. Gemini is free. You don't have to pay for Gemini. I pay for a lot of different things, but this is free. Flow is not free. So when you import the photo, landscape is what it does natively. It now can do portrait mode, which I love. So two things that the reason why this is important. If you look down here where my mouse is, you can see the watermark from Gemini. If you are using the full perspective, you might have to go in and delete that out before you come in here. But because we're using portrait mode, it cuts it out anyway, so it's fine. So we're going to say crop and save. And then I'm going to paste in our context here our chat prompt here. So copy code, come over here, paste it in here, and we're going to read through it in here. I want to make sure that it sounds correct. So first person POV, camera descending rapidly towards the charging bull from behind and slightly above. Camera tilts downwards, tracking the bull's gleaming back and tail as the viewer glides closer to the street. Subtle handheld shake, air turbulence, realistic sense of motion. As the descent continues, the camera banks slightly left and right, mimicking parachute steering corrections. Movement slows during the final seconds. Leveling out near the ground. Yes. Okay. All this sounds so far so good. Okay. And we'll hit go. So while this is working, this is going to pop up here. Okay. Oh, my bad. Okay. So this is a good oops. And the reason I say that is if you look down here, we're still on VO3 fast. So I haven't chewed through my credits. If you were to change your VO3 fast to quality, so I should have gone over this with you guys, so my bad. If you changed it from fast to quality, your credit usage goes from 20 credits per image generation to 100 credits. And sorry, I had to look at Puppy, make sure he was being okay down there. And that gives us 2 outputs right here. Now, I could change the 2 outputs to 1, which is typically what I do. But this one, I forgot to, because I didn't go over these key pieces with you guys. And we are now in 2. So what's kind of neat about this is it will give us 2 slightly different variations of it. And this seems a little more on the challenging side, I think. So I think it might be okay to have 2 different ones to pick from. So let's see what we have right here. Ready? Oh. Was that confetti? right. I don't know if I I don't know if I love that one. That looked like kind of confetti to me. All right, let's see what this one looks like. I think we need to rework this. Okay. In this instance, all right, so here's what I'm going to do. I would use from here. In this instance, the 2 was good to have because this is where I want to see him. Because from here, also, remember how it said earlier, trees? There's no trees here. I don't see any trees here. Tony, I see that you have joined here on TikTok. Thank you for joining. I had asked earlier, I was like, Tony knows. Are there trees in the financial district? I don't think so. So this would be okay to cut from here to here and see him unclipping, seeing Caffrey unclip here. He's a little farther forward than I think, so I might need to go back and rework these. But we definitely don't want him running into the back end of the bull. So we might need to add in that he's a little bit higher up and we see him coming down a little bit more. So that's on me to add that in. Okay, let's move on to, I'll rework those afterwards. You guys will see the final product once we're all squared away and finished with it. So we're going to go, we're leaving, the man walks nonchalantly forward from the parachute behind, right? He unclips. We're going to work on scene 10 where he pulls out his cell phone. So this is our next scene that we're going to work on here. And if anybody has questions, if you've just joined us on TikTok or on YouTube, feel free to ask any questions about where we are in the process. If you have run into problems, all good, no, late to the party, no problem. We're still here working. Appreciate you. Fireman John, thank you so much. Okay, so copy here. We're going to pop over here back to chat. Make sure the puppy's chewing on a ball behind me. Okay. Oh, look at that. Chat knew that we were ready to move on to scene 10. It must have heard me. Yes. Let's move on to scene 10. And here is scene 10. So scene 10, camera angle, POV. So again, from the stockbroker's perspective, the man pulls out his cell phone to check on his stocks and sees the animation on his phone of the stock chart line exiting the dip and going back up higher than before. All right. Yes, I'm just double checking my notes, make sure I don't have any additional notes on that. Any questions? The confetti is amazing. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it would be a confetti. It would be a party for me if I landed next to the bull like that and didn't run into it or didn't get arrested. What clarification questions do you have about this scene? Okay, how are we doing on time? Let me take a look. We are doing good on time. So we have about another 20 minutes. So we can knock out at least this next image. And then we've got one more in this scene. And then the whole thing's put together. I am going to go back and I'm going to do some tweaking, which we'll either see if I'm going to do the live, or you might see Wesley working on some more scripting and build out. We will see. Debbie, thank you so much for joining. Bill, thank you so much for being here. Okay, here we are. We have our typical 12. Oh, we have 13 questions on this one. A lot of questions. Okay, so let's get some clarification going. Do we want the POV to feel handheld and natural as if he's holding the phone in front of him? Or no, at this point, he's not like, this is, let's see. No, it's from his eyes. So we're going to say it should feel steady and composed, like a calm cinematic framing, because we are seeing this next scene as though we're the stockbroker. So the scene should feel steady and composed. So that's what I'm going to say there. Oh, can I take this from you? Thank you so much. Okay, had to pick up something from the puppy. Is the camera angle straight down at the phone like he's holding it slightly below eye level, or angled slightly upwards so we still catch background context like cobblestones? Yeah. We still want to see background context. So angled slightly upwards so we still catch background context like cobblestones. I'm not going to say the blurred bull behind because it is not from that perspective. Cobblestones, again, from we are seeing this scene as though we are the stockbroker. All right, should we see his hands and sleeves clearly? Yes. Similar to the parachute shot? Yes. See his hands and sleeves clearly, similar to the parachute shot. Did anybody have any questions? Speedy, thank you so much for being here. Super appreciate you. Okay, let's see. Is this happening immediately after he lands and unclips? Yes. Yes. Happening immediately after he lands and unclips. What kind of chart design do you want to show? Realistic trading app or simplified cinematic line graph like earlier? Let's see if my brother heard that question. And what would you like to see?
I don't know what's good. You can see what both look like. I mean, the line graph from earlier is consistent.
Okay, let's do that. So Wesley said, if you didn't hear him, he said, let's stay consistent with the line graph that we saw from earlier. So we will do that. So the chart will be consistent. Ooh, I think I'm gonna sneeze. With the simplified cinematic line graph like earlier, with the dramatic dip and recovery curve. Yes. Should the animation on the phone play visibly, showing the red line climbing higher in real time, or should it appear static? No. We want to play visibly, showing the line climbing in real time. Any specific stock names or tickers? Let's see. We're going to keep it like earlier. What's that, West? Yep, keep it like earlier. And again, this is the advantage of keeping it in the same thread. Oh, puppy is now under my desk. Okay, we're going to have to get you out of there. Should the phone screen have reflections from sun? No, let's not do that. Let's not have reflections on the phone screen. Show clean and perfectly. Did you call him out? Thank you. Oh, what is happening back there? Puppy behind me. Whoa, big screen. Sorry, guys. Continue the same day lighting. Now I feel like I have all these distractions. Continue the same day, midday brightness and color tone. And make sure we don't have any questions over here. Okay. Is the tone here satisfied and grounded like closure, or still energetic and triumphant? I mean, I feel like we still need to be. He just skydived through New York City. We're still energetic and triumphant. 11. Should we see part of the environment in the background blur? Yes. We see part of the environment in the background blur. And 12. Are there subtle hand movements like a small scroll or tap on the screen? Oh boy. Or is he watching the chart rise? That's a US question. Are there subtle hand movements like he's scrolling, or is he just watching the charts rise on his phone? Just watching the charts rise on his phone. Okay. Watching the charts rise on his phone. Okay. 13. Any reflections or motions on the phone screen showing slight head or hand movement to keep it cinematic? It asked this earlier. I feel like no, but it's asking twice. No. I'm going to say no and go. We're going to see what we say. Deb, thank you so much for joining. QB1, thank you so much for being here. So for those of you that have just joined, we are taking a script that my brother has written. We are drafting it into visuals, so imagery using Gemini, taking that image, dropping it into Flow, creating an animation with that. So we are taking it from words to an image to an actual motion, an animation. I lost my words there for a second. Okay, let me read through this. Realistic cinematic first-person shot from the eye, stockbroker standing on the cobblestone street. Beside the charging bull, camera is steady and composed. Let me flip you around TikTok so you can see what I'm seeing over here. Okay, stockbroker's hands in suit sleeves visible in the foreground. Clean white cuffs, black suit. Yes, perfectly visible, no reflections. Okay, I think this is reading well. Yes. Okay, so we're going to pop this into Gemini here. For those of you that can't see this, the puppy is to my right and he is spinning, chasing his tail. What are you doing? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, YouTube. I know you can't see this. There's so much effort. Now it's just going to chew my foot. Okay, back to it over here. Oh, so funny. So funny. So I wanted to review with you while we're waiting for this. In these settings here, portrait or landscape, we're doing portrait. The model, this is where I was saying earlier about the fast, 20 credits. But if I click quality, if I click quality, this jumps to 100 credits. So keep that in mind as you are messing around and animating in Flow. If you want to make your credits last longer, use the fast. I really don't see a difference on the quality between it. So typically I have one output. In this instance, though, this was a blessing, I really think, because he landed next to the bull, which is really what we were going for. Okay, let's see where we're at with Gemini. Oh, y'all just kept staring at Gemini on YouTube. Sorry, did somebody tell me that and I missed it? No, okay. All right. He needs his back to the bull, though. That's the one thing. Wes, what do you think? Does he need his back to the bull? Can you come look at this photo real quick? So the image that we have here is he's looking. I love this, but this needs to be to his back. Point? So I probably missed it here that it needs to be to the back.
Yeah, because he says here.
Skin cobblestone, yeah. Beside the charging bull.
I would just take the bull entirely out. Because and then here it says in blurred bronze surface of the charging bull provide this right here.
Yeah, we need him with his back to it, so we'll just take that out.
Yeah, everything that says charging bull, just take out.
So let's in here.
And in fact, I would have it almost take up majority of the screen because remember he's looking down and probably actually it might be easier to have him look at the ground.
Okay, so we did answer that question and I said no to looking at the ground.
Because if you think about it, like he's going to be looking at the ground or he's going to be looking at his phone. And when he looks up, he's going to be seeing a bull, like a live action bull coming at him. So when you don't want to be like,
y'all didn't know that yet on TikTok. You just learned that.
Oh, okay. Because if you're here, like you're going to see it there.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
So you want to.
Okay. Do you want to type that in for what you're envisioning there? You can say no. Let me flip it around. I will go ahead I will go ahead and make these adjustments. Ooh,
Do,
I'm
do,
gonna move this here.
yeah.
Excuse me.
do,
Okay.
Do you need me to type it in?
Nope.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So we're gonna.
stuff over here.
You're good. You are all good. So, seeing the next scene, we're gonna change up. How are we on time? I think we're okay on time. Let me just look. Yes, we're good on time. So we have about 10 minutes. So let me see what we can do for this. I'm gonna copy this into here, and I'm gonna make some adjustments. So for those of you, I'm gonna share on chat. We're going to make some adjustments. Realistic cinematic first person shot of the eyes of the stockbroker standing on the cobblestone street. I'm going to say in front of the charging bull. And then I'm going to put in parentheses the bull, our stockbroker's back is to the bull. So we do not see the bull. I actually don't know if that's really important in this or not. This might be overly confusing for it. Camera steady composed. Downward. Angled. I'm going to take out slightly. Angled downward and forward as if the viewer is calmly. I'm just going to say downward. As if the viewer is holding a smartphone.
And this is all
Facing down like you would normally hold it out of your pocket. So angled downwards toward the cobblestone. What's that, West?
Yeah, this is all the predication that there's a lot of background you can actually see. If you didn't want to do that, you could literally just have the phone take a majority of the actual.
Right. Well, I'm going to make these adjustments and we'll see what it turns out. Angled downwards towards the cobblestone. Okay. Stockbroker's hands, suit sleeves visible in the foreground, white clean cuffs, black suit fabric, faint orange tie visible near the edge of the frame, continuity. Phone screen fills the center of the view. And then I'm going to say, and almost fills the entire frame. Stock chart, yes. Climbing out of a steep. The chart labels, okay. The screen's perfectly visible. No reflections, glowing softly against the bright day. In the background, cobblestone street. And then I'm going to say, I'm going to take out everything that says blurred bronze surface of the charging bull. Okay, so in the cobblestone street, maintain depth of field. Okay, maintain depth of field. Hand realism, so gentle hand realism, tiny, impeccable movement from the natural stance, keeps it grounded. The lighting remains bright and crisp, matching midday cinematic tone of previous. Okay, I think this is a good update. So we're going to pop back over here to Gemini. Let me share my screen here with Gemini. Pop this in here. Really, we just needed the bull to move. We needed the bull to move. Okay, we're going to say go. So I would like to get this animated before our time is up. Plumberry, thank you for being here. James, thank you so much for being here. Rick, is it Nitney? Thank you so much for being here. Super appreciate you guys. So we are working on our our second to last scene in this short that we are creating. This is almost right. The hands are perfect, but the bull is not right. So what I could say, if our new prompt poses to be a dud, what I could say is with this image, simply remove the bull from this image and put in whatever street view it has. If we do that, then that scene could work because right now our focus is on the phone. Okay, Moment of truth? Nope. So we're going to go back to this image and I'm just going to say remove the bowl. Which image is better? Oh, see, I like the stock of this one. So what I'm going to say is we're going to go back to use this image and simply remove the bowl. That's what I'm going to type in. Oops. Oh, I'm seeing my headphones over there. Okay. Use, let's see. Using the this is where we're going to test out how well Gemini knows which image I'm talking about. Use the previous image you generated, you created, and remove the bowl. We're going to see. Does anybody have any questions that I've missed over here? Let me scroll back up and see if there are any other questions. I know I had some comments. Thank you. I know the puppies are so adorable, right? They make me laugh. Greg, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. And we have just about 5 minutes left. When you click go, can we see you on YouTube? Can we see? Yeah. Yes. I mean, I am on YouTube. Was that answering the question? Yes, you can see me on YouTube. So we are streaming live on both TikTok and on YouTube. Now after the stream is done, this lives on YouTube. So if you want to go back and you want to watch this again, YouTube is where it's been living. And I am reposting it when we are under 60 minutes on TikTok. So, oh, you didn't see the video on YouTube. Interesting. So how are you watching on YouTube right now? You'll have to fill me in on this. Oh, so the question was, you said you were clicking on go to watch the animation. We were on Gemini. Yes, you are right. I was on Gemini. So we are still on Gemini. Okay, let me show you guys here. Sorry, I wasn't sharing that tab. That's my bad. Apologies. Yeah, so we're seeing on Gemini now. We don't have this animation yet, but I don't love this one. It did take the previous image, which is fine. I wanted it to take this image because I really preferred this one, but it did do what I asked and it removed the bowl in this one. So we can try it with this one. I'm going to try it real quick with this one for animating it because I would like to see what that animation looks like before we go. So let's see. Oh, it won't let me type it, or it won't let me audio. So let me type it in real quick before we run out of time here. Draft the flow. I wrote glow. Flow prompt. I'm sharing this tab on YouTube. Flow prompt for scene, if I can spell, 10. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay. I would like to show you guys this before we go. Let me add in this photo, upload, and then I'll show you guys the settings. Okay, it's drafting the flow prompt right now. And hold please. Hopefully we're still streaming because I have the spinning wheel of death, which is never a good sign. Oh, I think I hope we're still streaming on YouTube. We're still live on TikTok. I know that much. I can see y'all here. But we have this is not good, guys. I have the spinning wheel of death over here. I can't click anything in my, okay, this is where we're just going to have some patience for a second. What? Okay. All right, good. It was just having a moment. Okay, my brother confirmed. Yes, we are still streaming. Okay, so let me share this tab on, sorry on YouTube, I couldn't share the tab for a second. My computer wigged out. Okay, so not my favorite one, but this one is going to work. Crop and save. I do want to show you guys here. We're going to drop in our prompt here, but portrait fast outputs 1. Let me copy right here. And we're going to watch this one live Let's see. I want to make sure we don't see the bull in here. I don't think we should because I'm just scanning for the word bull. I'm not reading everything. Okay. All right, off we go. So this will process. This will be our last one for today. Thank you so much for Zachary for confirming that you can see me on TikTok. Super appreciate it. Okay, there's that. 10%. This one's so good. Oh, he's going to run into it. I'm not going to use that part. I'm going to use this part. Although maybe that is real, but I'm still not going to use that part. I'm going to use this part. Landed. So I have a little bit of work to do there. 30% over here. All right, we're getting there, guys. It will continue to just loop through. Almost there, 37%. And YouTube, let me make sure we have any questions. Okay, yes, thank you so much for confirming, Liz, that we are live on YouTube. 46%. Okay, this is where I'm like, hurry up, go faster. And then I just have our final scene. So what I think I'm going to do is, while we're waiting for this to finish, it finished. As soon as I flipped, it like went from 50 to done. Okay, here we go. Let's see. I don't know why it sounds like a video game, but okay, this can work. I think it needs a little bit of work, honestly. I think it could be better. That's just the perfectionist in me. But I think that could be better. I don't hate that. It's definitely not bad, but it could be better, I think. So yes, so thank you guys so much. We got let's see, we got 2 different scenes animated. We fixed our one guy, so there's that. And we will be here tomorrow. I'm probably going to do some more tweaking and adjusting. So I'll show you guys the updates tomorrow, and then we will animate our final scene tomorrow. And then I will start putting it together, and you guys get to see the whole thing once it's all done. It will be on a different channel. So I will show it to you here, but once it's published, it will be on a different channel. So I will show you guys that I'll share that channel with you guys so you can join over there. But if you would do me a huge favor, we are trying to grow TikTok to 1,000 followers so that we can have everybody in the same space on Restream. So if you could do me a huge favor and share this and follow and have anybody this would be helpful for to follow as well, help us get to 1,000, that would be fantastic. Thank you guys so much. I will see you tomorrow.